Hello, Joy Olson of Blockbuster Fundraising. I was reading this blog about things that I think it's 10 things that every fundraiser should know about year-end fundraising. So I decided that we better go over these today so we'll both know what they are. All right, let's say number one, nearly 1/3, 31% of annual giving occurs in the month of December. That is year-end giving stat number one. 1/3 of annual giving is right there in December. So that means that year-end giving is a huge big deal. So make sure that you're making the most of your year-end appeal by using the right data, segmenting your audience, segmenting your donors, telling the right story, personalization, and then follow up effectively. And that's the first thing that they say we need to know. Number two, 12% of all giving happens in the last 3 days of the year. Got that? 12% of all your 2017 giving is going to happen in the last 3 days of the year. Talk about last minute. As those donations are coming in, you should be getting ready to follow up with your donors. A great thank you letter is the first step toward effective donor retention. So here is a little tip here. Get your thank you letters done right now. When you write the appeal, imagine that you've just gotten a nice gift and tailor your thank you to the impact that that gift is going to have. It's a great way to do it, and use the same image so you tie it all together. Did you know that branded donation forms can help you raise up to 7 times more? So be sure that your forms, the image that you use in your annual appeal and on your online donation form and your thank you letter, make sure that these all are the same form. You've branded this to maximize your final days of year-end donations, that your donors feel really good because they see this consistency and they're very sure about where their dollars are going to go. Okay, fact number 3 that you need to know for year-end fundraising is that 53.8% of nonprofits start planning their year-end appeal in October. So if you're just getting started, you don't have to feel too bad, but you gotta hurry because a lot of them are already out there with their year-end appeals in the mail right now in late October, 1st of November. So since a huge amount of donations are made in December, your year-end appeal can be wildly effective if it's planned and executed well. So give yourself some extra planning time to make sure that everything runs smoothly in December. And the experts say you'll thank yourself for this later. And we've talked about the fact too that in this year of 2017, you've got an extra week, fundraising week, between Thanksgiving and December 31st. So don't get stressed. You've got extra time this year. All right. Okay, so fact number 4 that you need to know for year-end fundraising. November and December are the most popular months for making year-end asks, but almost 8% of organizations start as early as September, and I've seen it this year. It seems to be more prevalent than ever. In November, the percentage is right around 46%, and December right around 31%. For making their year-end asks. I think you need to get out there early this year because it's been a big year for giving too. And you know, with all the disasters, the hurricanes and the fires and the earthquakes, and oh my gosh, it's been a real year that we've all wanted to help so many people. So most people won't donate though until the last minute. Your donors will hold out. They got a lot of things on their mind. But that doesn't mean you should hold off on your ask. Make your appeals as early as possible so that your donors have time to plan ahead and donate at the time that works for them. And of course, don't forget to think about Giving Tuesday, because really Giving Tuesday is your fundraising kickoff. Number 5, what you should know about year-end fundraising. 28% of nonprofits raise between 26 and 50% of their annual funds from their year-end ask. Wow, that's their year-end ask. They are expecting 28% of their budget to come in. So year-end giving can be a huge boost for your annual fund, with many nonprofits reporting that nearly half of their annual funds come from their year-end ask. All right, number 6, what you should know about year-end giving. 36% of nonprofits raise less than 10% of their annual funds from their year-end ask. More than 1/3 of organizations report raising less than 10% of their annual funds through year-end appeals. Wow. Well, if you're not seeing as many donations as you'd like to in December, you need to really evaluate your results with your future in mind. I mean, you need to really take a moment to look at why didn't you raise money? What went wrong? And you need to get in there and look at a lot of samples and examples and really get busy, because that's kind of shocking. All right, on to something more positive. What you should know about year-end fundraising. Number 7, 2/3 of people who make donations do no research before giving. I guess that should, you can breathe easier if you think that they're not going to your web page and checking out your GuideStar or Charity Navigator rating. But instead of checking you out on the website, they give to organizations they already know or that are recommended by friends and family. So even in our age of high-tech marketing, word of mouth marketing remains one of the most effective forms of marketing. So turning your donors into champions of your cause that will not only continue to donate, but will also spread the word about your organization. Last year about this time, when the Chicago Cubs won the World Series instead of Houston, and it was a beautiful World Series this year for sure, and it was so much fun to see Houston win after Hurricane Harvey and the devastation. But to get back to the point, I did a video blog about donor loyalty and branding and storytelling that revolves around the Chicago Cub organization, because those donors are loyal and they turn their family and friends into loyal Cub donors also by spreading the stories, spreading the good word. So that's an important consideration, especially with Giving Tuesday coming up and your peer-to-peer fundraising. Your donors and your staff and your board and your volunteers can do a lot of good if they love you, if they're willing to spread the word to their family and their peers about your organization. The eighth thing that you need to know as a fundraiser about year-end fundraising is that your volunteers are twice as likely to donate than non-volunteers. Although we tend to think of volunteers and donors as two separate parts of our organization, volunteers really are donating their time and skills to your cause. So make volunteer retention a priority at your organization, and you'll be building the foundations for some of your most engaged donors in the future. And the ninth thing you should know, 59.9%, almost 60% of nonprofits make between 1 to 3 donor touches for their year-end campaign. So this is important because if you're just counting on one letter or one card or one phone call, it's not going to work. Most of the successful ones are making at least through 3. And that's more than half, but a staggering 27.6% of nonprofits made 0 touches for their year-end campaign. What? With the remaining 10% making more than 5. Yay! How many touches do you plan to make? I think the more the better. I really do. So 5 is a good goal, because after all, look at all the year-end emails you're going to see. Your 3 or 4 email blasts at year-end, your Thanksgiving letter that can go out now. Your November annual appeal, your Thanksgiving card, your December 20th card, letter. I mean, you got a lot of touches available. Warm, fuzzy, wonderful touches. So direct mail is number 10. The 10th thing you need to know about year-end fundraising as a fundraiser is that direct mail is the most popular medium for year-end appeals. And then, of course, there comes email, and then your calls, in-person asks. So direct mail still reigns supreme for year-end appeals, especially as we nonprofits email maybe more, but we are less effective with our emails than we like. But we'll look into that in another segment, and another fundraising lesson or tip from Blockbuster Fundraising. And I am Joy Olson, saying thank you for having been here and letting you know that we have a lot of fundraising help available on blockbusterfundraising.com, joyolsongroup.com, and hundreds of free fundraising videos on our Blockbuster Fundraising YouTube channel. So take 20 minutes a day and select a subject that you would like to get inspired about, whether it's a script for a donor call, whether it's a tip for major gift fundraising year-end. It's all there. It's a pleasure, and thank you for having been here today, and hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.